pursuit of heroes, legends old. In his stories their glories unfold. Baz the Bard with strings of gold. His heart cries out the tales he's told.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Meta Report. My name's Baz the Bard and I've been joined by Scott Howling Mines. How are you doing, Scott?
I'm very well, thank you, Baz. How do you find yourself today?
I'm doing well. You're everywhere at the minute. Sort of like writing articles. I keep seeing Scott pop up. I keep nabbing you at the right time. So,
yeah, you know what? Blessed. We'll say that much. While the roller coaster's going well, I'm just going to enjoy it. But the minute, a lot of work coming in, and I find myself in a lot of different event halls for a lot of different cardboard squares. So it's been pretty great.
No, it's all power to you, fella. You're working so hard.
I appreciate that.
The rewards are coming. So well done. Okay, but we are here, Skirmish Season 9. It's a mixture of Blitz. It's a mixture of Living Legend. It's the first time where Legend Story Studios can get a good amount of data to see where Living Legend sits, with the format, especially after Brian did his little tweaking after Worlds in Barcelona, where we had the top 8 all Starvo. It's certainly not like that anymore.
No, definitely not. I was lucky enough to get some first-hand experience with the format for literally the first time since Barcelona at Amsterdam for the Battle Hardened, which I was lucky enough to get to play. I just chose to play Icelander for a bit of fun because she's my girl and always has been. And it turns out she was just the most played deck in the room, and the top 8 was 8 different heroes. So it goes to show you there's definitely some diversity there that maybe wasn't there before the reign of Starvo came to an end. So.
Yeah, indeed. It gives people a chance to dust off those cards and play those favourite heroes, and reminisce about the times that they played before. And we'll certainly see that with the meta breakdowns that we're going to see later on nearer the end of the show, because we are going to start with Blitz. Skirmish has always traditionally been Blitz, so there's no reason for us to not start with it. So we're off to Ireland. Party starts with Ireland always. Gamers World in Dublin, 14 players. This is kind of like the regular amount, of players we see for a Blitz tournament, 14 to 16. It's never the high end of player counts for Skirmish season.
Sure.
So as we feared, Zen is going to be the most represented. He certainly is here. What other heroes would you be expecting to go into Blitz with a higher player count, we shall say? Let's not include Zen.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Zen is public enemy number 1 here. Big bad, very much expected going into this room. I had caught whispers of Arachne solitary confinement since before this season started, as kind of same reasons as Classic Constructed. The assassin has the natural counterplay to the ninja, and it turns out this young hero that you can't play in Classic Constructed does a lot of very nonsense things with a lot of cards from the most recent set, and can only really be played in Blitz. So it's been really cool to see that converting very early across the globe, honestly, in these skirmish season events. But beyond that, we're kind of expecting our usual suspects. The Emperor and Blaze kind of make up the arcane contingent of heroes you'll see at the top tables. Victor is a strong one, just kind of that guardian raw power. And then beyond that, we tend to normally see some amount of Briar and Dash while they're still alive, about to make their way out of the format as this season progresses. And they'll tend to show up in some numbers as well.
Yeah, Dash is topping the table. She's nearly there.
It's almost time. Yeah.
In the UK, it's always Rhinar. Rhinar does really well. When Chambers...
I had forgot about Rhinar, yeah. It's I tried to erase from my memory taking 12 damage on turn 0, but every now and then someone does remind you. So.
Yeah, indeed. This is the thing. Blitz can fry up surprises. It's you've got to remember where these heroes sit. Okay, this is Gamers World in Dublin, for Zen. They've taken the majority of the player base. Okay, but let's get into the top 4. All right, so we got Conor McGrath on Lexi, Ian Holland on Zen, Chris McNeil on Arachne, as you were saying, solitary confinement, and Jack Canty on Victor Goldmane.
Really cool. I think known Demon Ranger of Manchester, George Jones, has been rocking some Lexi and Blitz from time to time as well. And it's definitely an under-respected deck. I think people forget what she's capable of doing. Does have that little sprinkle of ice to ruin some people's day if they're trying to get hyper-aggressive. So really cool to see Connor putting up a result with that one here. Otherwise, this is a lot of what I expected to see. So
Yeah, it'd be nice to see sort of like how Zen can combat, sort of like how much ice can come back at him. So let's get on to the finalists. Sort of like Connor, there we go, Lexi, Conor McGrath versus Ian Holland.
Yeah, I think this one is going to come down to whether or not Connor's list was vaguely ice-centric. Obviously, supporting cards like Channel Lake Frigid takes quite a lot of space, and the space required for that maybe isn't the best against everybody else. Without that knowledge, I'm going to assume that it wasn't, and it was just quite an aggressive Lexi list, and so I'm going to give the favour to Ian on Zen here.
Okie dokie. You are correct. There we go. So, Ian, well done, Ian. He was a bit quiet, sort of like going into the first half of 2024. Took a bit of a breather, but he's certainly coming back, and he's got himself a skirmish win. So, well done, Ian.
There we go. Getting the big bad one step closer to being out the door. So thank you for your service, Ian. I appreciate it.
It's going to take a while yet. He might catch up.
No, it won't.
I've just reduced the points a little bit. That's all they'll do.
We can't keep doing that, Baz. It doesn't work forever.
Okay, so let's see the meta map. Here we go. Sort of like Ian Holland on Zen, Gamers World Dublin. Well done, Ian. Well done. Okay, so we're going over to Sweden now. Prisvindet, I shall say, this one is in Uppsala in Sweden. 14 players, like we said before, 14 to 16 is probably your average. Victor and Zen, sort of like are the big bads in this one. And you can see solitary confinement, takes his place again.
Lurking again. I think word is getting around, and that's good to see, because I've always kind of wanted Arachne to be good at something, vaguely anything, honestly. Beyond that, some cool ones to see here. Vincent kind of just hanging out on the corner, not quite replacing Briar just yet. Briar, of course, here as well. Blaze kind of making a showing. I'm sure we'll see more Blazes as the season goes on, and people actually acquire copies of Blaze from other skirmishes in order to play the hero. Yeah. And the really sweet Leviah here. I've heard some whispers about this one as well. Not quite up to the same shenanigans as Reinhard, but turns out Carrion Husk pretty good when you start on 20 life. Who knew?
Use it early, use it or lose it. Mansant definitely did a deck tech on it as well. And he said basically use the Carrion Husk as fast as possible. Let's get on to the top four. So Michael Longberg and Italo Molina are both on Zen. Estelle Strostrom, we'll say that. I'm sorry if I messed your surname up. Is on Arachne Solitary Confinement. And Joachim Gustafsson he is on Victor. So Joachim is the 2023 national champion
very nice.
Sweden. He's got a ProQuest 5 win under his belt as well.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, much the same as we said a moment ago. This is kind of the expected status quo here. These Victor and Zen were kind of the big known quantities going into this, at least amongst them. And word of Arachne is quickly getting around as that kind of counter pick to Zen. Mm-hmm. So happy to see this, and I'm going to cross my fingers that the Arachne didn't hit the Victor, because I would rather see them come out on top.
Okay.
Damn.
So, Zen versus Victor. How are we going to go?
Yeah.
It's quite good in CC.
Yeah, I mean, this is a matchup that everyone's kind of vaguely familiar with at this point. This feels like, Big Bad versus maybe the more renowned player. So it's going to be quite a close one. Hard to gamble on without any prior knowledge. But I find it very hard to bet against Zen. So I'm not going to. And we're going to say Italo was the one who got there.
Oh, you're definitely in the Zen camp, aren't you?
I certainly am.
Joachim won that one. Well done. He's a national champion. He can beat Zen. Even with all these tricks.
No, it's good to see. Like, I think, yes, I'm a bit of a doomer at this moment in time, especially regarding Blitz and Zen, but I want to see results that are not Zen just crushing everybody, because it would give me some semblance of hope. So, yeah, it's absolutely good to see this, and congratulations to Wack.
But this is sort of like what happens in the first week. Like, you're expecting Zen to pick up wins. He will pick up wins. When they do the global results, I'm sure Zen will be sort of like, the one with the biggest tally. But sort of like it gives hope to everybody else that they can see, right, Victor is winning. Zen isn't doing everything. Especially like when we had in the heavy hitter season, KO was winning everything. And then, slowly people get their act together.
They printed part of the misfail. Yeah, that's roughly what happened in exchange for that.
Roll on Rosetta. There we go. Right, Zen's out the door. Right, so sorry. Let's see the meta map for this one. So Joachim Gustafsson is Victor up the top there in Uppsala.
Good start. Yeah, love to see it. That's good. That's good stuff.
Right, okay, let's go over to the UK now. Let's finish off the UK one. So this is Cosmic Collectibles in Welshpool. So this is our first Welsh shop. The first time we have ever covered anything flesh and blood related in Wales. So thank you. Finally, it's made it into the last country in the UK. So Victor Goldmain, he seems to be quite popular, eh?
He does. Yeah, definitely. Again, one of those decks with a known. There's a bit of a known quantity in Blitz, known to be quite strong. Again, this is kind of mostly the expected slew. Good to see that Arachne popping up yet again. I'm happy to see word getting around. I'm very curious about this Max Nitro, though. That's one brave soul down there, and I'm really hoping they put up a heck of a fight.
Thing is, it might be a new shop. Go with mech, pick up bright lights. It's all mech cards, sort of like
that makes the most logical sense. But I'm hoping somebody's cracked it. That's significantly more fun.
Well, we might see if he's cracked it later on, or it might be when the Dash Dio cards come out and
maybe
get some new bits.
I am very excited for that. Unsurprisingly.
Righty, so let's see. Adam Cohen on Zen, Felix Elias on Dash, Daniel Curry on KO, and Shy Edgington on Victor. It's a new store. It's new names. So it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, that's great to see. Happy to see just a lot of people that I don't immediately know of yet, and I look forward to hearing more about them as their inevitable success in the Welsh contingent continues. This is good to see. Very cool to see a KO up here. Definitely got game in Blitz, but not as talked about as someone like Reinar. So good to see some success there for Daniel. This is another one that really could break anyone's way as things stand. If this was Dash into Zen, again, I kind of got to go with Zen. I think that's mostly just an aggro fight, and I think Zen's mostly coming out on top there. And I would expect... I would like to know more about this KO list, to be honest. I'm not sure how that one goes, so I'm curious to see who broke that one in the semi-finals.
Okie dokie.
Wow.
Dash versus Victor.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, congrats to Felix on Dash there, putting up a showing for our girl. I do think I would like to be on the Victor side of this matchup, though, so I'm going to say that Shy took this one.
Wow, we could definitely fatigue out a Dash. That's what you tend to
do.
You
would think.
And it happened. There we go. So well done, Shy Edgington, a name to look out for. I'm pretty sure that Shy works in the shop. Whether or not he's the owner, I say he, she, they, of the owner of Cosmic Collectibles. I don't know. Hopefully.
Either way, defending home turf, and you love to see that. I love to see people keeping the prizes for themselves. None for these travellers. No. Earn your place.
Locals only. Righty, let's go to London. So Darksphere. Darksphere in London, 16 players. Briar. Oh my God. Briar's out in force, and Dromai. Dromai is there. It's just like, oh yeah, there's dragons. We can still play with them. That's quite nice. So you may see a bit of an odd face in this list, which is Ira. Ira's there representing Aurora because I don't have the thumbnail for Aurora.
Oh, so that Ira makes more sense.
Yeah. You're probably going, you've messed up here, Baz, but I didn't.
I was trying to find a way to say it posthumously, and I hadn't quite figured that out yet.
It's just going, Baz, you fucked up again. Oh yeah.
No. We're much more polite than that around here. This is nice. This is cool. I say, great to see Aurora kind of on show in that case, and one of the new First Strike heroes. You'd love to see someone picking that up and giving it a run, even without its full kit, obviously coming from Rosetta. Briar, yeah, makes sense. A lot of the Londoners were playing Briar at the Battle Hardened Nationals. That makes sense. It's still the hero of choice there. These Dromais are really cool. I've seen a little bit of Dromai in Blitz, not a ton. She tends to be unfavored compared to like Prism or even like Enigma New Moon. So I'd love to see what these people were up to and whether or not they've maybe snuck something under the radar. Most importantly, look at that bolting, you brave soul. I literally brave soul because that's how the hero works. Love to see that, and I hope they did well. That'd be great.
But the thing is, they're probably rocking all the new kit
Oh yeah,
Take it for a
Armory,
run,
good
see
stuff.
how it goes. But the good thing about Dromai is people forget how to play into them. You don't see him in classic constructive, but now back in blitz, and it's like, oh, how do I deal with this again? There's not many sixes, so
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's kind of the same. I'm sure we'll see it at some point in Living Legend as well. It's just she's not the de facto illusionist, and it's easy to forget that playing against Dramai is very different than playing against Prism or playing against Enigma. And she is the kind of hero that will punish you for making a mistake. Will just put you in the gutter for attacking the wrong dragon. It's good to see. Hopefully, she does well here.
Righty. So let's see what transpired. Samuel Thomas on Briar. He won a skirmish season 8. Steve Broder. Now, normally we see him with KO Berserker Run, but he's decided to hedge his bets and try and win an event on KO, and then go back to Berserker Run after he's got one. And then we've got Dromai with James Earl and Sebastian Le Bailiff on Victor.
Steve, you disappoint me.
It is Briar versus KO and Dromai versus Victor in this. All right.
Super interesting. It was always quite contentious as to how the matchup was with Dromai and Victor, but I'm gonna say on that side of things that James probably knows a lot more about that matchup in Blitz than Sebastian does, just from the nature of it not being super common. So I'm gonna hope that James took it down there, and I'm gonna guess that Samuel took this down on Briar to me in the finals.
Okie dokie. Right.
50-50.
50-50. But this is the one that counts.
Now, why would you say a thing like that?
Right. Because this is the final. These are the ones always count.
Of course, it is indeed the match that counts. This is a really cool matchup. I've not played it very much, unfortunately. I like to think that Rosetta Thorn is probably still a royal pain in the ass for the Golden Boy. So I'm going to guess this was Samuel's to win.
Samuel's to win. It is indeed. He won a skirmish 8. He's now won a skirmish 9. So well done,
Very
Sam.
nice.
Well done indeed. Fantastic. Right, that's the end of the Blitz results for this week. We are now moving on to Living Legend.
Yes, a real format. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
So the first one we're kicking off is Living Realms. Okay, this is sort of like the one that people will go to. They want that. I've won Living Realms. 3 Oldham. Oldham rears his head. Oh my God! In force.
Have you ever heard of the Liam Holden influence? Because you're seeing it in full effect right there. The man top 8's the battle hardened in Amsterdam on Oldham, and everyone remembers that hero is vaguely playable and how much they've missed doing it. So the fact it was the most played hero on the day is hilarious to me.
I don't really miss Oldham. I was there streaming with Alan, the battle hardened in Leeds, and the whole top 4 was Oldham mirrors, and it was just like. Oh my God! Right, okay. So let's kind of move on. So, 11 players. One Icelander. Oh my God, she's back. There's loads of. Can you imagine the amount of ice that's going to be in this? Oldham, Lexi, and Icelander. It's like
it's beautiful, and I guess it's definitely worth shouting out as well. Like, there's so many cards that didn't really find their right time. In constructed that are very good in the current Living Legend format. Like Icelander gets like Channel the Bleak expands, which is obscene against Zen. It's obscene against KO. Have you ever discarded to a Blood Rush Bellow and not drawn cards? It's pretty miserable. And so it's great to see kind of these heroes coming out of the woodwork. We see it a little bit with some of the spoilers that are coming out of Rosetta right now. They've given Briar an expansion slot card, which she obviously can't play anywhere else. She's about to go in Blitz as well. So there's some evidence that they really want to support Living Legend, and seeing some of those new cards kind of being used for the first time is just really sweet.
I would say that Mike played with Vincent and played Chains of Mephetis, and on a Blood Rush Bellow turn, all those cards got banished. So
bye.
Yeah,
no, it's
ways to do it.
Pretty good feeling when it lines up. Yeah,
Vincent is just a bit fringe at the minute. Right, okay, so let's get into the top 4. Okay, Matt Mad Dog Duggan on Zen. Rob Catton on Prism. They're both teammates. On Team Belittle, they are. George Jones, the Demon Ranger, playing his favourite Ranger, Lexi. And Liam Holden is definitely on Oldham.
As you can imagine.
They have so many accolades between them, all these players. Matt Duggan, PQ3, PQ4. Rob Catton, Skirmish 6, 2 Skirmish 7s, 2 Skirmish 8s, and Pro Quest 4. Battle Hardened Liverpool winner. Top 8 worlds in San Jose. So fantastic record for Rob. George Jones, RTN 2023, RTN 2024. Liam Holden, PQ4, Skirmish 8, PQ5, and the Calling Liverpool runner-up, I should say.
I got to throw in there that both George and Liam were on the same team for the top 4 and are calling in Madrid as well. Because if I don't mention it, they will kill you. And so I'll make sure that's thrown in there as well. Yeah, as you say, 1,000,001 accolades between these 4 players. They are the renowned murderers row of the north of England for good reason. And I'm not shocked to see any of them in this lineup here. So
it would have been really good to record these games. Righty, so let's get into the final. Okay, teammates go at it. Zen versus Prism.
So sadly, I think I have a bit of a spoiler on this one. I don't know for sure, and I would love to be wrong because it will be very funny. But I believe I saw Rob Cann selling a cold foil blaze in the UK Discord server. So I'm going to assume that Rob Cann took this event down.
Okay.
I'm wrong. Okay. Maybe selling it on Matt's behalf.
Maybe. Or they did a split. Maybe. But Matt took the win.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We will never know because we weren't there. Well, Liam, I'm surprised Liam didn't tell you because you were...
No. To be fair, I love my Manchester guys, but I've not caught up with them for a hot second being stuck here in Blackpool. So I knew they were at the event. I know they'd both made top 4, but I knew neither of them won. So that's about as far as my knowledge went.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so our last game, our last living legend for this week. Rising Phoenix Games in Middlesbrough, 10 players. KO and Lexi are the top dogs in this. Arachne, okay. I was quite surprised to see Arachne. I was just like, what? That wouldn't be my assassin of choice when you can choose any assassin. But, you know, this is where obviously I don't know and somebody else does.
Yeah. A very curious choice. My gut would say maybe it's just someone who plays Arachne in Classic Constructed, doesn't have anything else to play in Living Legend and thought, why not? Let's tangle with the best. Maybe somebody's got something figured out that I don't know, but either way, I wish the best of success to them. Beyond that, there's a Katsu here for some reason. That's not particularly clear. Everything else is fairly understandable, I think.
Chain. I always love to see Chain come back.
I think if you enjoy Chain, you're going to love the Living Legend format because I don't expect to see him anywhere else anytime soon.
No, I don't. I see him and just go, oh god.
I miss him. Chain was my first real deck I finished building. Like I played a lot of Dash in Arcane Rising like everyone else did, but it was the first deck I kind of like paid up, footed the build to finish, and so I've got some very fond memories of playing Chain as well.
Yeah. The only time I played Chain, as I've said this before, I don't play any hero that I consider to be evil or bad.
Sure.
So I don't play Chain, but I did play Chain at Skirmish Season 3 Sealed at Living Realms. It was straight after COVID, and it was just like I had a Bolton deck to begin with, and then I went to Simon Denning. I went, this deck sucks. Can you go through my seal pool and help me out? And he did. And
unsurprisingly, Simon Denning lent you towards Chain.
Yeah, he went,
this surprised me at all.
He had to tell me how to play it, and I came second in our pod.
There you go.
And then I rouletted into the final. So yeah, it was good into the final pod again, but it was good.
We take those.
So yeah, it's the only time I've played him. Right, okay, but I digress. Top 4 time. Adam Harbinson on Zen, Paul Goodchild or Whippy Doubloon on Dromai, absolutely loves Dromai, and it's good to see him sort of like rocking it again. Stephen Christiansen on Katsu, Skirmish Season 8 winner, and Adam Collins, who was the commoner at Liverpool winner and got an RTN 2024, and that was with Dash.
Very cool. Well, congratulations, of course, to Stephen here, because Katsu definitely an unconventional choice in this situation, and putting up some results with that is cool. I hope that you find Dromai in the final, but I'm going to be surprised to see Dromai's success in a double ninja top 4. So I don't like her odds. I think everybody else has got a fair chance here, to be honest. This could be quite close. I'm looking forward to seeing who's in the finals.
Okay.
Wow.
Final. Paul Goodchild.
Please tell me that the Dromai was against the KO. Otherwise, something's happening here.
If I had my phone with me, I'll be able to tell you.
Never mind.
No, you've asked me now.
Oh, I've doomed myself. Sorry, folks. Recording's ruined.
We will edit this. I'll find it.
No, he won't. He'll leave it in because he's lazy.
You know me too well. Oh my god. Right, Paul beat Adam. Right, so yes, so it was KO. Was okay. Katsu versus KO and Dromai versus Zen.
It was Dromai Zen.
Yeah, Paul beat Adam Harbinson in top 4. So Dromai versus Zen, and Dromai won.
Okay, nothing makes sense anymore. That shouldn't be how that works. I guess maybe you just don't have a mask of momentum in your deck as Zen. So sure, there's no world you can get me to root for Dromai against the Katsu. It's just not going to happen. So hopefully Stephen took this down, I guess.
Okay. He took down Zen and he took down Katsu. I tell you, Paul is a phenomenal Dromai player. He's really good.
I know. I had the pleasure of playing Paul on Dromai at a Nationals, and I was on Icelander. Thankfully, I did get there, but obviously that matchup was never great. But to be crushing 2 ninjas on your way to the top there, Paul, fair play to you, because that can't have been easy.
It probably had sweat bullets all the way through, just going, Christ, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's not a top 4 you want to see when you choose to bring dragons to a gunfight. Not fair play to you, Paul. That's a tough one.
He should be at EH Gaming, I would have thought, because he rocks around that area. EH Gaming next week is Living Legend, so if you're there, better prepare for a dragon. Righty, so let's see the meta maps. Let's see how they go. Congratulations, Paul, by the way. Righty, so we've got Living Legend in Castleford, Matt Duggan with Zen, Tamer of Purpose, and Rising Phoenix Games in Middlesbrough, slightly above it, with Paul Goodchild with Dromai Ash Artist. So well done to you all. Over into the Midlands, we have Mana Screw. So I didn't cover Mana Screw because Mana Screw's turnout was very small. Matt Brown's a new player. He's been sort of like getting tips from the Whitney guys, Nathan Hills, sort of like Ben Westmore, Richard Carr, sort of like David Calf. He started to come to Mana Screw on a regular basis and he's picking it up really quick. He does help that he's really good at Magic, so he's got some pedigree.
Yeah, he's also one of my close friends in Lorcana as well. I know Matt very well. Matt's been a renowned Magic player for a very long time, and I didn't know that he'd won that, so that's kind of cool. I'll have to annoy him next week when I see him for Disney instead.
He was trying to flog his place. And then we've got Shy Edgington with Victor over in Cosmic Collectibles and Welsh Pool. Okay. Right, last one to show is London, Dark Sphere, Shepherd's Bush, Samuel Thomas with Briar. So well done, Samuel. More to come. Spellbound Games in London, which will be the first time they're running a big event. So it'd be nice to cover them.
Huge shout out to Spellground. I know they're very passionate about what they're doing, so I hope it goes well for them.
Yeah, indeed. Righty. Okay, so if you're in the hunt for promos and to get on the show really with your name emblazoned in top 4 or on the meta map with a vital win this week, 28th of August, Lion's Heart Bookshop in Woking. Lion's Heart Bookshop, the owner actually made it into the top 8 of the UK Nationals with his Prism deck. Sadly, I can't remember your name, but I know you're out of Lion's Heart Bookshop. Then we've got the Long Rest in Canterbury, and then at the weekend, EH Gaming, Highlander Games, and 7th Dimension are all running Living Legend formats. Wayland Games, Excelsior. That should be Excelsior Comics. That's there we go. I've found one. Spellbound Games and Dragon's Lair have all got Blitz. And if you can't make a Saturday, go down for a Sunday game in Nottingham, Plymouth, Edinburgh, or even Sweden if you fancy it. Okay, but lots to play. Hey?
Yeah, take the scenic trip to Sweden. It's probably the best event you'll play all season.
Yeah, Erica takes a 5-hour train. She takes the overnight train to where she goes.
Brave soul. Fair play to her. I haven't got it in me. No, there's a lot of great events coming up here. Very cool to see so much Living Legend going on as well. I'm a really big fan of the format right now. If you've not given it a chance, I was very much an active hater of Living Legend until recently, so I recommend giving it a shot and go win some events that I sadly can't beat you at, and go get those promos because they're really really pretty.
They are. So this weekend is absolutely stacked for events. Go down, take part, get on the show.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, or get your name read out for someone who has provided information for the show. Thank you so much, as ever. I can't do it without you. So DK Gaming Dave, Ian Holland and Padraig in Ireland. I probably said your name incorrectly. I apologise. Sweden, Erica Forslov and Joachim Gustafsson. Fantastic that you guys provide the information from all the way from Sweden. From the UK, Rob Catton, Camfo Dave, which is Darksphere Dave, Shy Edgington, Tom Barnaby Pass, Cole, Paul Goodchild, Matthew Brown, and Zavi Murphy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Scott. Brilliant as always. I pester you, but you're always such a delight.
You don't pester me. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm very lucky to get to come and do stuff like this, and I'm always happy to be part of the content. So thank you for having me.
It's always nice to get your insight. We have your articles of you going to events, but it's just like, right, okay, let's get you in person. Let's get
questionable insight, but I'm willing to offer what little I have as far as the internet is concerned. But if you enjoy me being here, I will always be willing to be. So
nice, brilliant. I have a patron. Thank you to my patrons: Andrew Rayner, Bolful, Mike Kerslake, Callum Dorling, Darren Burdock Latter, and Ross Hewitt. Thank you so much. It allows me to make all the event dice going forward. And if you wish to be a Patreon member, you can get a 10% discount from Buy the Same Tokens. You can get Thistle Tavern singles or other Flesh and Blood products at 10% discount. And PCG, you will get a 3-monthly gift voucher or to go towards grading. So there's two levels. You've got the £5 patron and the £7.50 one. So if you're into grading, sort of like certainly helps you out.
For sure, yeah.
Righty. So Scott, all that's left is for you, mate.
Yeah, I'll say goodbye. Why not? I'm sure everybody loves it. But thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Hopefully you've enjoyed this week's Meta Report. But until next time, that has been Baz the Bard. I have been Howling Mines, and you have been amazing. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again very, very soon.